Welcome back for more Reddit story videos. Today we have several entitled parent stories for you to enjoy. As always, don't forget to share and like if you enjoy these videos. Without further ado, here we go. You're too pretty to be lesbians. Thank you, but we still aren't interested in entertaining your nephew for his birthday. This happened the other morning. My amazing wife and I commute to work together on the train every morning. Our stops are only 2 apart, so we use the time on the train as more quality time. But this story isn't about what happens on the train. This story is about what happened at the station. Cast: me, EU, entitled uncle, ET, entitled teen, PO, police officers. My wife and I were standing on the train platform, talking and waiting for our train to get there. It was pretty early in the morning, so the station was almost empty. We were vaguely aware of a teenage boy about 17 a bit further down the platform, so we weren't acting like a couple for safety reasons. After a few minutes, a man, easily in his 50s, joins the teen and they begin to have a rather loud conversation about the teen's upcoming birthday. Their conversation started out as a simple excitement about the party, who's invited, etc. But then it turns to the topic of the entertainment. The man starts asking the teen what he wants in an entertainer. He asks very specific questions that pertain to size. The man then pointed at my wife and I. Entitled uncle: so you want her to be sort of like them? I felt my wife tense up next to me. Entitled teen: exactly like them. After a few more moments of talking in hushed tones now, the man started walking over towards my wife and I. I grabbed my wife's hand and squeezed it to let her know I would handle the situation. I've never been one to back down too easily. EU: excuse me ladies, I'm sorry to bother you, but I was wondering if you would be interested in coming to a party we're throwing this weekend. My nephew here is turning 18. Me: no, we are not interested in going to your party, and we aren't interested in entertaining them neither. They started out excuses. Oh no, you misunderstood, it will be fun, no pressure. No, we are not interested. Well, your husbands don't have to know. Hell, they can come too, the more the merrier, right? Me: my wife, I held up our hands to show them our rings, and I are not interested. Leave us alone. Entitled teen: lesbians are always more fun. Entitled uncle: oh, come on ladies, you're too pretty to be lesbians. Just come to the party, I'll make sure you're generously compensated for your time. Don't you think he deserves a good time on his birthday? Luckily the train showed up just as EU placed his hands on my shoulder. My wife wasted no time and dragged me onto the train before EU and ET even knew what hit them. But they were too quick for us. The two of them got onto the car in front of ours, meaning that in order to get off the platform at the next stop, we would have to walk right past them. As soon as we sat down, I called the cops and asked them to send someone to meet us at the next station. I filled them in on what had happened, and I was told that an officer was on his way to the station. My wife and I sat there somewhat calmer and just kept reassuring each other that everything was going to be fine. While the man didn't outright seem violent or angry, neither of us wanted to chance anything. As the train came to a stop, we saw the police officer standing there. We got up and walked straight for him, followed quickly by EU and ET. Police officer: what seems to be the issue here? I filed him in on EU and ET's request and explained that we didn't feel safe. Then EU said probably the stupidest 3 sentences I think I've ever heard. EU: officer, let me explain. My nephew here is turning 18 this weekend. He's a good kid, he studies, he works, he gets things done. I think he deserves a good time, so I intended on paying for an entertainer. My nephew expressed interest in these young ladies and I offered to compensate them in exchange for their services. Since my nephew will be 18, no crime will be committed. The cop just stared at him like he was insane, before explaining that prostitution is illegal and that my wife and I said no to his proposal, so anything after that could be considered harassment. EU: well, I'm sure these lovely young ladies don't want us to get into trouble, isn't that right, girls? I just smiled. Me: I'd like to press charges, please. The cop called for backup, then the men were cuffed and taken away. They were both charged with sexual harassment. I don't know if we will go to court over it or if we will just settle out, but I'll update either way. Happy birthday, kid. enjoy your brand new police record. You absolutely have to let my underage teenager into your room party full of grown gay men. This didn't happen to me but to a friend of mine, and the details will be written down as he told me the story. So long story short, my friend is a furry and at the time was attending Midwest Fur Fest. Now there's a ton of fun activities that attendees can partake in, and most of the panels and activities listed on the official program are totally appropriate for families and kids. That being said, like any other type of geeky conventions, people will hold room parties in their hotel rooms or suites that are not part of the official program and are not the responsibility of the convention itself. Very often those room parties will either be gatherings of friends or sometimes they will just be centered around certain social groups. For example, there are furries of color parties now and trans room parties, and sometimes, well, there will be parties of the more sexy kind. You know what I mean. Sometimes to attract a certain crowd, especially at the social group parties, they will advertise the room party on a board near the hotel lobby to advertise the party's room number for those who might be interested to attend. Anyway, those parties are obviously private functions, and obviously the person who is paying for the suite room has a complete liberty of choosing who is allowed inside and who is not, especially if they are just gatherings between friends. Flash forward to Saturday evening. This is generally the biggest evening of the convention in terms of social events and room parties. My friend is hosting a room party for gay men in his suite. The attendees are all legal adults, the majority of them in their late 20s, early 30s. Nothing too risque is going on, but it's a bunch of gay men together in a room, so colorful discussions and a bit of flirting and groping is happening from time to time. I mean, duh. At some point early in the evening, they hear a knock at the door. Friend goes to the door and slightly opens it to see a kid, no older than 15 or 16, standing outside the door. Friend, hi, can I help you? Can I come in? Friend, slight giggle. No, this is a private party. It's not part of the convention, sorry. My friend then closes the door and returns to entertaining his guest. About 15 minutes later, another knock at the door. This time my friend's roommate goes to enter the door and finds the same kid standing there, and this time he has his father with him. Friend's roomie, yes? Entitled dad, yes, my son came here earlier and was refused to be let in. Roomie, well, yes, but is there a specific reason why my son can't attend this event? At this point my friend intervenes. Sir, this is a room party, it's not part of the official program, plus your son is a minor and everybody here is a grown man in their 30s. This would be extremely inappropriate. Entitled dad, don't give me that, we paid full price for an attendance pass. I expect my son to be able to enjoy this convention to its fullest. But that's what I'm telling you. This isn't covered by the convention ticket. This has nothing to do with Entitled Dad, but this party was advertised downstairs in the lobby. Friends, the board downstairs will advertise a lot of private room parties. It's a convention thing. People will organize gatherings amongst friends and social groups because they are all gathered in the same spot for the weekend. That doesn't mean it has anything to do with the convention proper. Now, please, can you leave? We've told you more than once that your son is not welcome here. My friend at this point hushes the ED and his kid out and closes the door. At this point, everybody thinks the story is over, but entitled parents being petty, it isn't. At around 11:30 PM, a much stronger knock is heard at the door. My friend goes to open the door and is met with hotel security and a Rosemont PD officer. What is going on? Hotel security, sir, we got a report of illegal activity taking place in this room. We'd just like to do a quick checkup. My friend is flabbergasted, but lets a cop and security personnel in. Of course, they find absolutely nothing weird going on. Friend, can I at least know what this is about? This is very distressing. Hotel security, a man came to us earlier and said that your party guests were doing drugs and committing acts of gross indecency by being sexually inappropriate where other people could see them. My friend then realized it was more than likely ED and tells hotel security about how that ED tried to force the party and attendees to let his minor son attend a room party full of grown adult males and how they had told them to leave repeatedly. Hotel security apologizes and my friend got a partial refund on his room to make up for the intrusion, and no more problems happened from then on. He doesn't know if anything happened to the man and his kid. I've never met you, but you're the reason why my son is gay. Cast, EM, we know this one. Me, OP, we know this one too. HK, humiliated kid, 16-year-old. MB, my boyfriend. AW, annoyed worker. Me and my boyfriend are at McDonald's. We wanted fast food and it was the nearest place, so shrug. We order a large strawberry milkshake and other things. We asked for 2 straws in our drink. This is important later. We sat down with our food and start eating normally. There wasn't any customers in the McDonald's besides EM and HK. I noticed HK staring at us in an amazed way, but I ignored it. MB had no idea. I guess EM thought we were just bros being bros or whatever. Until we both drink our milkshake at the same time. EM starts walking towards us. MB says, "Oh boy," because he knows something is up. He always knows. EM in a loud voice, "Can you two knock it off?" What exactly are we? EM cuts me off. "You're being gay. My son is probably gay because of F-slur for gay people like you." HK, "Mom, I'm not gay, I'm bisexual." EM, "Quiet, I'm speaking." Now, MB is the type of guy who loves arguing even more than I do. MB, "I don't think you're speaking, you're yelling." This made EM very angry, but before she could say anything, I see AW running up to us. Annoyed worker, "Miss, I'm going to have to ask you to leave these boys alone. They've done nothing wrong, yet you're yelling at them for being themselves." EM, "But, so you're telling me that you want to leave?" No. That's what I thought. So sit down and don't argue. HK comes to us. "I'm so sorry for our actions. Y'all are a cute couple, but my mom has been anti-anything LGBT since I came out to her. It's so annoying." Me and MB, "It's okay and thank you so much." MB, "My mom is the same way. I can't wait till OP and I graduate high school. We might move away together. You should do the same when you're older." A homophobic mother starts to yell at us for being gay at a pizzeria. Before I start, I'm writing this post on a mobile, so sorry for the shitty format. The peeps, me, BF, my boyfriend. EM, I'm pretty sure we all know. K, EM's kid. M, manager. C, another customer. Okay, so last year, me and my boyfriend went swimming to a lake on a really hot day, and there was a pizza place like 5 minutes of walk from the lake. So we decided to go and get something to eat after we took a dip. And that pizza place had really good AC. So we get to the pizzeria, sit down, order our food, and we wait. We were both chatting about some random stuff. We were 14 years old, by the way, while we waited. Then a woman with her son, probably about 12 or 13 years old, sat down at the table behind us. Here comes the fun part. Since it was an extremely hot day, we were wearing shirt stuff, of course. I wore flip-flops, shorts and a tee, while my boyfriend wore a tee, shorts and sneakers. Now, when I was born suffering from egrinovirus, so I had to get surgery while I was a couple of months old. That left me with some nasty scars above and on my ankles. But I didn't really care anymore, since I was less insecure about myself and my boyfriend was there to support me for anything. Then EM decided to step in. EM, you should cover up. Me turns around, pardon? EM, you should cover up. Nobody wants to see those disgusting things on your feet. Wear shoes like your brother here. She thought my boyfriend was my brother. Understandable. Me, I'm sorry, but I don't really care about my scars. If people don't like them, they shouldn't look at them. My boyfriend was listening to our little chat and decided to step in as well. BF, excuse me, madam, I'm his boyfriend, not his brother, and we're on a date. If you could stop bothering us, that would be great. Meanwhile, her son was just focused on his phone, not even paying attention to us or his mother. EM, excuse me? BF, you heard us, we're dating. Now, if you could leave us alone, we would appreciate it. The EM was not having it and got mad. Excuse me, you two are dating? You are disgusting. You guys are still children and fags already. Despicable. Every other customer in the place could hear it now and they started watching us. EM, how dare you say you're dating to me? You two are kids and effing already? Her kid noticed EM get up from her chair and begin yelling at us more, while we were just giving her the death glare. Then another customer stepped in to help us. Excuse me, why are you yelling at these boys? Because they are fags, they don't belong here. See, just because they're a bit different doesn't mean you have the right to yell at them and harass them like that. EM, shut the F up, you stupid B. Did I even ask you anything? No, then stay quiet. Her kid started to roll his eyes like this wasn't the first time this happened. EM, I want these Fs out of this place right effing now. The workers called the manager to come help. The manager comes in and starts asking questions. M, what's going on here? EM, I want these two kids out of this place now. Explain why, please. Because they're little fags who don't know how to respect people. Me and boyfriend jaws just dropped. We never even looked at her or said anything to her that would have even offended her this much. Then Kay decided to step in. Mom, stop. And you wonder why you're banned from many places? You stay quiet. No, I'm tired of you nitpicking every person just doing their business. That is why Dad left you. I told you to stay quiet. We were all now just in complete awe. I'm not surprised her husband left her. I would have never even married her if I knew she was like that. Madam, please leave. I'm not leaving. Suit yourself, I'm calling the police then. EM then grabs her kid by the arm and bolts out of the store with him. 5 minutes later, Kay comes back into the shop to apologize to us. Sorry about my mom, she's always like this. She's banned from most restaurants here. At this point, we just felt so bad for the kid because it's not even his fault. We just say it's fine and he shouldn't be worried about it. The kid thanked us and then leaves the store. The manager offered us a free meal as an apology for what happened. We got our free pizza and drinks, had a good laugh and move on. I never knew what happened to EM afterwards and I haven't even seen her outside. We still laugh about it to this day. So those were the stories for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, a like would be highly appreciated. It really does help my channel out. Also, if you enjoy this and want to stay up to date on the latest videos, then don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening and I will see you in the next video.